Heavy buckets. Clutch time.
Tyler Hero, what a finisher he's become.
Lane, Oladipo. Oh, that's right. You better mean mug after you dunk on somebody that way.
Gonna run it down. He goes with it. Adebayo for the win.
Yeah. Welcome to the 5 Reasons Sports Post Game Show, aka the Post Up on 5R. I can hear myself echoing. Yeah. That threw me off. I'm your host, Roy Lee Shepherd, and I'm joined tonight by my man Jonathan Ramlakan, pulling double duty as both the producer and the panelist. Appreciate you, brother. Joined by my man Gadiel Cartagena, and of course these two melanated muscle men that you see to my right. I don't know if it's your left or whatever. The Canes.
Prepare yourself, Brian.
No, I ain't got no poetry tonight, bro. My heart was in flux watching this game, but I got my Canes, Brian Young, and the chairman of the Council of Canes, brother chairman Ricky J. Mark. Appreciate you guys for joining me this evening. So, I can still hear myself echoing. Gad, I think that's you, bro. It's gonna kill me.
Is it me? 1 second. I'll be right back.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, it was definitely Gad. So the Miami Heat were in the midst of blowing this shit out.
Like you said.
like I predicted. Everything was going swimmingly. I stopped watching this game for like 2 minutes, and we had ourselves a game that came down to the wire at the end of this. Miami was able to pull out the victory 113-107 versus the Lakers, but it was no easy task. Like towards the end of that, like we played well in the first half, and then the ball stopped moving. It seemed like Jimmy was chasing that triple-double a little bit too heavily. But, yeah, like, I don't know. Let's go around this panel and see what everybody thought. Gad, we're going to start with you, bro. What were your thoughts from tonight's game?
Do we have an echo?
You got.
Yeah. Am I still echoing?
Yeah, you need headphones.
Oh, shit. Give me one.
But you go first.
Go. Okay. So for this game, I was most definitely impressed with the way they were moving the ball in the first half. I think like 70+% of our buckets were coming off of assists. They were just, the Lakers do not fight through screens. They never fight through screens ever. That's just their MO defensively. They just don't give a shit about Coach Frank Vogel. They really want him gone. So they were playing like they wanted him gone in the first half. And then second half came, the Lakers just locked in. Like, I think Russ actually had a pretty good game, and the Heat were just able to withstand it. It wasn't the prettiest game from a lot of these guys in totality, but they didn't do enough for us to lose the game. And Jimmy was fantastic. Jimmy was just dicing them up. Credit to him. Credit to Duncan, who was unbelievable, carrying us in the fourth quarter once again. That's 2 straight games, I believe. So credit to Duncan, man. We'll talk about it more, but he's been fantastic. Happy we got the win. This is a big win for us. You can't let those bad losses stack up, and this would have been a very bad loss for the Heat. So I don't care how you win. Just win the damn game and move on. So got the win, got the triple-double. Very good.
I want to thank Keith Jackson for the $5 dono. He said we need to go back to 2021 Heat plays with Jimmy ball handling a little more. It's very frustrating watching him fail on an ISO every play. I think a lot of that was due to the circumstances, bro. You don't have Hero, you don't have Kyle Lowry. Jimmy has to do a little bit of everything, and that includes taking on a bit more of the scoring load because, I mean, we need him to close this game. What was the next dono, Ramakan? I don't know what was after that. It's another one. Thank you, Darius Jordan, for the $5 dono. He said, this was such a quality officiating. Great job, NBA. Oh, for sure, bro. Props to the referees tonight. They did everything that they could to help them. I tweeted it, bro. The chat cleared, bro. Adam Silver is a criminal, bro. Like, he will do anything for ratings. Brian, give me your thoughts on the game, brother.
Yeah, I thought this was a really great win. I mean, despite that fourth quarter comeback from the Lakers, which, you know, it was going to happen when you're playing a team with LeBron James. Like, that guy is always going to be able to get his guys to be able to make a push, even if the rest of the team is garbage. And the Lakers are garbage, not just like regular garbage, like flaming garbage. It's terrible. The Heat, I felt like, did pretty much whatever they wanted throughout the whole game. I mean, that's personified by the fact that 5 guys were in double figures, and you had 3 guys who were a point or 2 away from double figures, right? So they played efficient. I felt that they made the Lakers do the one of the many things that they're very bad at, and that's take a lot of threes and miss most of them. Somehow the Lakers outshot the Heat from three in terms of volume, and they made 11 of them. That's not good, and that's largely because of the Heat defense. You know, they knew that the Lakers are best when they're attacking the rim. They're, you know, and I thought that they did a good job of taking away those opportunities. So overall, really good win against a bad team, but you need those wins. I mean, like you mentioned, if they had lost this game, that would have been a really, really bad win. So shout out to them for pulling it out.
Yeah, to your point, like they forced LeBron James in like all he was doing for most of the game was shooting threes. Like he was 1 of 8 from 3. I know he ended up with like 12 of 22, but like I mean he had a good game, but outside of him, nobody else like really Russ maybe, but like nobody else really could get this shit off. So we want to thank Jamal1482 for the $9.99. Don't know. He said, I don't fault the Heat for blowing the lead. LeBron and Westbrook aren't scrubs, and we didn't have Kyle to settle us. Duncan was pushing P tonight, and Jimmy had a triple-double. Today was a good day. Today was a very good day. Like, I don't have very many gripes. Of course, you know, excuse me. Hubris is a real thing. When you're up that many goddamn points, then, like, naturally you tend to take your foot off the gas. LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, those players are too good for you to do that and then to try and regain your composure towards the end of the game. Luckily, we were able to pull it out tonight, but hopefully they can use this as a lesson. Thank you, Christian Cardus, for the $199. Don't know. He said, we need net rating stats adjusted for refs tampering. For sure, bro. For sure. Last one, we got James Todd with the $5 don't know. Oh, that's not the last one. He said, let me find out Malik Monk can be human versus us. LOL. Happy that we got the double W. Can't wait for Lowry and Hero to get back and we can string some W's together. For sure. We actually did a really good job on Malik Monk tonight. And, you know, I'm happy about that. Thank you, Nick Ordonez, for the $199. Don't know. He said, glad LA fans at FTX spend big money. Bandwagoners. It's okay. We'll take all the money that we can get from their ass. Thank you, okay, for the $199. Don't know. He said Heat at the number 1 seed, right? No, I don't think so. They were tied with Chicago.
I think
probably in the second set. Your mic went mute, yeah.
I think if the Nets lose tonight, they actually can get the 1 seed. But as of right now, no, we are still the 2 seed.
Yeah, I believe they started the night a half game behind the Nets. They were tied with Chicago. Chicago was 2, Miami was 3, but Chicago did lose. Miami picked up the dub. So we want to thank Yanovich16 for the 15 cryptocurrencies. He said, I think Jimmy should fire up his shooting early and not just his passing. I don't like to see Jimmy Butler shooting a lot. We need him shooting well, so he should start at the tip. Jimmy Butler is a player who likes to work his way into games. We needed a facilitator. He facilitated. I am talking way too much because y'all are giving me way too much money. So let me throw this to Kane Ricky before I get another dono. Kane Ricky, let me hear your thoughts on the game, brother.
Yeah, a couple thoughts. First of all, I think PJ Tucker and Caleb Martin are going to win Miami a playoff game this season. And if the Heat don't secure Martin for the next few years, in my opinion, they're going to regret it long term, the same way the Lakers did when they didn't extend Trevor Ariza back in 2009. I personally wouldn't have called that 6th foul on Bam Adebayo, just thinking as an official, but, you know, they don't pay me, right? When you've got someone that small guarding someone that big, the disparity can really cause some bad calls to be made. All you got to do is just flop and, oh, look, David versus Goliath. The next thing you know, another foul. Thankfully, Miami was able to keep it together in his absence. I think also tonight's fourth quarter was a case study in how hard it is at times for Jimmy Butler to find offense or to create offense for himself compared to someone like LeBron James. There were numerous times where they would seal off the paint and he was forced into a bad turnaround jumper, and he's not a natural jump shooter. And we were able to see that. And I'm sure we're going to be talking about that tonight, but I think Tyler Hero and Kyle Lowry will help with that. But I think there's clearly a ceiling on his play that if the right team game plans for it, it could be a problem. Also, I really hope that this LeBron James season doesn't end the way Kobe's did back in 2012, 2013, where he dragged a mediocre yet nominally stacked Lakers team to the playoffs only for his body to betray him. That Lakers team is in serious trouble, and the Heat are looking really good right now, even with everything that's happening this season, mainly because their 16-5, if I'm not mistaken, home record just might be the difference for them this season in the hunt for a top 2 seed. It's going to be very interesting. And ultimately, this Lakers team, they are an old, grumpy, sore team that might be staring down the barrel of a playing game this season if they're not careful. And winning that isn't guaranteed. This is ironic because whenever the Lakers are up 20, LeBron's clowning, posting up, acting like everything's a game. And then when they're down 20, both him, Melo, just about everybody, they're ready to fight people for the
He's also
It
flexing
is free.
down. He's also flexing down 22, Ricky. Like I saw that with my own two eyes this evening. But I did want to. I did to one of your points. Somebody said they were stealing off the paint in the comments. But to Ricky's point, they were stealing off the paint with people like Stanley Johnson playing the fucking five. Like they didn't have any bigs or any competent bigs. They started the game with Dwight Howard, so there were opportunities there for Jimmy Butler to kind of get downhill and get something going. But they kind of stonewalled him. But to counter you a little bit, I think that's the beauty of Jimmy Butler's game. Like he's so smart, so skilled. Like he can find other ways to be effective, as you saw with the 12 assists tonight, like the triple double. Yeah. Like he found ways to put his imprint all over this game. Ramlakan, let's get to you, bro. What were your thoughts on tonight's game?
Yeah, I thought it was a really good team win. Right, first half we saw the team really execute on defense. They were doing a great job of trapping, forcing the Lakers to make extra passes and force them into shooting just late shot clock shots. And once they were doing that, they were able to get out, set up the looks they want, get the Lakers out in transition, and like you guys were saying, really attack that paint. And to Gad's point, the ball was swinging side to side. Jimmy Butler had 10 assists in the first half before he even got 10 points, which was something, that we don't we see it every now and then. For him to get 10 assists in the first half, that was absolutely insane for him to get. Absolutely great play, I thought, from Gabe Vincent as well. I feel like his passing is continuing to improve. His lobs are absolutely picture perfect. Every time he threw a lob to Bam, it was absolutely on the money. So shout out to Caleb Martin. Duncan Robinson, right? When this game was starting to get out of the way, he was able to hit some really, really big shots. So I want to give a credit to Duncan Robinson and PJ Tucker for those fourth quarter threes. But before I get to that third quarter by Jimmy Butler was pretty big as well. Because when the Lakers were starting to make, just that semi-run, cut the lead down from 21 down to below 20 into the teens, Jimmy Butler was the person making and taking those shots. Like Yanniv said, he wanted to take those shots. He was making those in the third. And when it came to that fourth quarter, the Heat kind of took their foot off the gas. It reminded me a lot of Game 2 versus Dallas in the finals when we had such a big lead that we just kind of relaxed and started taking not really good looks, not really good ball movement all over. And at the end of the day, we were able to get the win. Jimmy was able to close it out. Big three, like I said, by PJ. That Gabe Vincent reversal on that charge was absolute bullshit. But, hey, it was a good win overall. We got the dub, and shout out to this team for getting a win. Like Ricky always says, the score won't show up when you look at the wins and losses. This is just a win at the end of the day.
Yeah, so I forgot who said it, but somebody said they disagree with the last foul on Bam. I disagree with your disagreement. I think that was absolutely an offensive foul on Bam, and he should have gotten ejected, even though the defender is smaller and stronger. But I want to show love to – before we show love to players, let's show love to some of our sponsors. I want to thank the primary sponsor of the 5 Reasons Sports post-game show, and that is Aggressive Insurance. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful person who just told me and Ethan earlier today – not today, but earlier this week that she did get some signups from 5 Reasons. So that is awesome. But if you have any insurance needs, please make sure that you visit www.insurancebylynette.com or check out on Twitter at Aggressive Insurance. Aggressive Insurance, man, is the best insurance agency out there, and they are always willing and ready to help you. So give her a phone call at 954-581-8800. Again, that is 954-581-8800 or www.insurancebylynette.com. Thank you so very much. We'll get to some more sponsors later on. Want to get to a man who is often slandered in these Heat Twitter realms, but has been phenomenal these past 2 games, and particularly in this one, I thought without him we lose. Want to talk about Duncan Robinson, and we're going to start with Ramlakan this time. Ramlakan, talk about Duncan Robinson's game. Played the most minutes on the court tonight, was our leading scorer. Hit timely clutch shots. Just talk about his overall performance tonight.
Yeah, Duncan Robinson, I'm looking at the stat board before I even realized that he was the leading scorer for our team, and he hit the most field goals for anybody on our team. So without him, we definitely don't win this game. He hit, like you said, very timely threes. And that's what has been lacking from Duncan Robinson. He's been making threes, shooting the ball a little bit better, but he wasn't really making them when they counted. But now with Bam back, he's starting to get a little more comfortable with getting that dribble handoff. You got to give a lot of credit to PJ Tucker as well, because he does a crazy job freeing up guys from screens. So he was able to do that for Duncan as well. And Duncan was firing on all cylinders, man. There was a couple shots that were really close, and the shots that weren't close were just going straight through the hoop. So he was killing it. He was giving us a lot of gravity. We all saw the play where they swung the ball to Duncan Robinson. They had 3 Lakers defenders close to him, and it ended up playing up with a bam slam right down the middle. So shout out to Duncan Robinson. If he keeps doing this, he's going to be a perfect complement. Like this picture, his gravity is absolutely insane.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
His gravity was great tonight. I think after this last 2 games, we don't want to overstate anything, but it's starting to look like Duncan Robinson is back.
Hey, I think you made a very good point. Yes, Gad. Like if this is true, then the future is very, very bright for what this Miami Heat team can do. But I think Ramlakan made a pretty good point, and Ricky, I'm gonna throw this to you, where he talked about Duncan's resurgence kind of being tied to Bam's return. How much credit do you give to Bam returning to Duncan's, kind of stringing a couple of games together, versus how much you just, give credit to him just finding his jump shot or water reaching this level?
I think it's a little bit of both, because after all, he is a professional athlete and shooters go through stretches like this. I think Bam's return to the lineup has restored a sense of normalcy to Duncan Robinson. And as someone who is very clearly affected by things like that, it worked to his advantage. I have been very critical of Duncan Robinson on this program, and I have been all season in response to his poor play, but I'm not afraid to acknowledge when he does play well. However, I'm not going to be cheerleading him, because after all, this was what he was paid to do this season. So don't expect me to start, oh my God, yes, he's back. I told you guys. What about all you guys hating on him? No, this is his job. So thank you for doing your job tonight, Duncan Robinson. This is exactly what you were paid to do.
God damn, Ricky J. Mark. You's a cold. That's why you're the chairman, man. Listen, bro. That's why he's the chairman, man. You got to have that steel-like mentality, man. Stay eyes on the prize. Brian, give me your thoughts on Duncan Robinson, brother.
I'm really happy with Duncan Robinson. I mean, I'm going to go the opposite of Ricky and say, I told you, my guy is back. He's back. Right. I don't know who said in the comments, but someone said that Bam is Duncan's muse. And they're 100% right. Like, I want to give a little bit of credit to Duncan. Like, his 3-point percentage was coming up a little bit before Bam got back. But since then, it feels like Duncan has a whole new sense of confidence. So it's not just the fact that he's shooting efficiently from 3 now. It's the volume. Tonight he took 11 threes. And as we said all year, and essentially, actually, as we said, Duncan's whole tenure with the Heat, when he plays well on offense, he plays well on defense. He had, 3 steals tonight? Mine? Two steals. But still, that's pretty good for Duncan Robinson. I felt like
they were timely steals as well. They were super timely.
It's great to see. I also thought his post defense looked pretty good. I mean, he's not going to be a dominant defender, but if he can give you some solid defensive possessions, you take it. So I'm very, very happy with Duncan. I think we're going to see more of this. I really do. I think he's just going to, he had this slump at the beginning of the year, but I think he's coming back.
Yeah. As you can see, my name is Give Duncan the Max. Give him more money. More. Duncan Robinson. I was talking about it, bro. Like, if Duncan Robinson have won that jump ball against LeBron James, nobody would have been able to shut me up about Duncan Robinson's vertical for the next 6 fucking weeks, because I would have said he had higher vertical than LeBron James and that he is an athlete out here. You feel me? Gadiel Cartagena, you've been quiet for much longer than I'm accustomed to. Let's talk about Duncan Robinson tonight.
We pretty much got all the points, right? Like, this was a great game from Duncan. We got a great game last game from Duncan, specifically in the fourth quarter. This is what we've been saying is kind of missing from Duncan. Like, he's not trusting in the fourth quarter. He isn't producing the fourth quarter. He's not really doing anything in the fourth quarter. He's been showing up and shutting everybody up, including myself, over the last few games. So credit to Duncan, man. And the one thing that really stood out to me, above all else, because we talked on a lot of different points. The playmaking's been good. The defense has been better. The shooting, obviously, high volume, and he looks confident. He's not hesitating at all. Duncan Robinson dove for not 1, but 2 loose balls today. And that tells me everything I need to know. When he's locked in, when he's motivated, he's actually a pretty damn good player. But the shot needs to be falling. So I wish it didn't have to be dependent on 3-point shooting, the 3-point shot falling. But I don't care. If we're getting it, we're getting it. Very happy with the way he played tonight. I'm very enthused with Duncan the last few games. Like, we need this. So if it's Bam being back, Jimmy being back, whoever it may be, happy that Duncan's playing well. This team needs it, because you have Duncan, you have Strus, you have Hero. Like, those are 3 guys that can kill the other team from the 3-point line. So I just want to point that out. He's been playing great, though. I'll give credit where it's due. He's been playing really good. Need to see more, and I think we'll see more. Maybe not like 26, 5, and 3 every night, because tonight was probably going to be an anomaly, but he's playing really good. So, happy about that.
Yeah, one of those loose balls that you talk about, Duncan diving on the floor for LeBron jump right on top of his face, and they call that motherfucker a jump ball. I don't know how that happened. Probably because LeBron was frustrated that Duncan, Gary Payton Robinson was locking his ass up for most of the night. I'm a big fan of Duncan Robinson's defense, particularly because he looks like an actual defender out there, and that shit's good for my eyes. Ricky, you said you had the finger up. You had a point.
Yeah. If we go back to multiple times that we've brought Duncan Robinson's name up, I'd like to just, I guess, point out that I've been pretty consistent in saying both on and off Twitter that I would rather Duncan start shooting better than us trade him for somebody else.
Absolutely. That's the right way to go about it. Like, you're not getting...
Go ahead.
Because you have PJ Tucker. Like, who else are you going to get? Are you going to get like a $18 million backup four? If you can get a shot creator, that's a different conversation, but those types of players probably won't be involved. So, yeah, I'm like out on the trade Duncan thing unless some crazy package happens. Like Ricky said, just shoot the damn ball the way that you know you can, and this team is in really, really, really good shape. Like, Duncan, Strus, if either of those guys are hot, this Heat team is really hard to beat. If both of them are hot, I don't know if we're losing a game. So you have a little bit of an X factor that you didn't anticipate having earlier on in the year. So
I mean, Max is pretty handsome. So.
But this was
This is
so
true.
Duncan is back now. I doubt it. The point is, it doesn't matter. Like, he's not a net negative on the floor anymore. Like, it's like if he's not hitting, then you can go to Strus. If Strus not hitting, then you can comfortably put Duncan out there and like feel comfortable that he's still a threat out there. Duncan, PJ Tucker Robinson, I love it. I love
Interesting.
it. Yeah, interesting. Let's talk about Bam Adebayo. He found out of the game today, but overall, I thought Bam played solid. Like, not great, not terrible. Defense all over the place. He blocked LeBron James. I was fucking with it. Brian, you go first. Bam Adebayo.
Oh, they look good. I mean, like you said, just a solid game from Bam. It's only his third game back. I think 4 game back from being out for 6 weeks. So, you know, I'm not really expecting the big Bam games yet. I felt that this would probably, if we're going to see one, I mean, he had a pretty damn good game last game, but if we're going to see a big game, it probably would have been versus the Lakers because there's literally no one on the team that can do anything with Bam. But, you know, I'll take 14, 8, and 3. You know, all NBA defense, like that's good. I'm chilling with it.
I'll take that on an average night. Thank you, Heather Clown, for the $4.99. Don't know. He said Coach Spo just said in the post game that Caleb Martin is a can of Red Bull. Yeah, I flex with it. That's shout out to the nickname that he gave to Ethan them on the 5 on the floor pad. Check that episode out. While I'm in the mode of doing promos, let's thank CPT-Florida for their sponsorship of the 5 Reasons Sports Post Game Show. If you have a small business, you have any IT needs, phone services, communication services, any IT services that you may need, please visit cpt-florida.com or give them a phone call at 954-963-2775. They will hook you up. I think the guy's name is TJ that you're supposed to ask for. Mention 5 Reasons, and they got a special offer waiting on you. But they got any IT services that you may need, they have it. So thank you for that. Now, on to more talk about the man, Bam Adebayo. Kane, Ricky, go ahead and give me your thoughts on Bam's game tonight.
Look, Bam, I think it's well documented what I expect out of Bam on most, if not every night. But I was glad to see that he was able to be a presence on defense. Not every night will require him to drop 30 and 17. I understand that. I'm a pretty realistic person when it comes to that sort of thing. But when it comes to Bam Adebayo, as long as he makes his presence felt in a game that at times slows down and gets mucky. I mean, just look at what happened in the fourth quarter. Miami wasn't blowing anybody out, but Bam's presence stemmed the tide a little bit. Like I said a little earlier, I wouldn't have called that foul on him that eventually sent him to the bench. But I think we need to note something very important here. He was in the process of taking a field goal or making a field goal attempt. Not passing out to somebody on the wing. He was taking it upon himself to potentially ice this game with a field goal. And past Bam, maybe last season Bam every 2 weeks, or even early season Bam after his hot start wouldn't have done that. And that leads me to believe that this might be a turning of the corner for Bam Adebayo in terms of late game situations.
I like that. I like the sound of that too. We get Duncan starting to hit some shots. Gabe starting to realize that he can be the best player on the floor at any given moment.
He is.
Now we can talk. We can talk about some things, Rick and J. Mark. Jonathan Ramachan, give me your opinion on Bam Adebayo tonight.
Oh, yeah, not to echo with too much of what these other guys said. I just thought he played a pretty good game overall. We always talk about wanting him to be aggressive. I thought he did a good job of picking his spots today. There was times that he was trying to post up the smaller guy. They were trying to feed the ball to him. He had a couple of mid-range jump shot attempts. I think he made 2 of them, or only made 1 of them. But I still like to see him get those shots up overall. And, I mean, you can't say enough about the all-NBA defense, right? The picking up lob passes out of the sky, intercepting passes, helping and recovering faster than anybody else in the league can. This guy can do it almost all in guard 1 through 5 on top of that too. So you can't give him enough credit. His stat line isn't going to be indicative of how he plays ever, because it's always going to be more valuable than what it just shows. So give credit to Bam regardless. He played phenomenal. I understand Ricky's points for him getting that 6th foul, but he definitely hooked him. If he didn't hook him and he just bumped him down, I'd understand you saying it's just a bigger guy and that naturally would happen. But he did hook him, and he does have a tendency to do that. We've seen that from Bam before, so I understand him calling that. But I think good game for Bam overall on both ends of the floor.
Yeah,
they wouldn't have given that foul to LeBron.
No. But they also called the jump ball on LeBron James when he people's elbow Duncan Robinson. So it's LeBron James. Like, we don't want to LeBron James can do what he wants on the NBA court, and nobody's going to do anything to him. Gat, go ahead and talk on Bam Adebayo's game tonight, bro.
Yeah, I wish we would have been able to see the close that Ricky was talking about, because we have seen a little bit more aggression in the fourth quarter. I just wish we didn't have to wait until the fourth quarter to see that aggression. It looked like he was kind of just trying to pick the right spots to go to. I just wish at the same time he would also create his own spots. You're probably the most skilled scorer on the floor for the Heat tonight. Use that to your advantage a little bit more. But I'm not going to complain. I thought Bam was fine. Could have been better, could have been worse. The turnovers still a little bit of an issue, as they have been, but he's also forcing turnovers on the other end, so I guess that's kind of a wash. Solid game for him tonight. Nothing really to write home about. Played defense, hit some shots that we needed him to hit. Maybe a little bit more volume as a scorer, but whatever. I'll take it. Good game. Got the win. All good. Is he on mute, or is it just me?
No, I think he's muted.
No, it's me too. I muted myself while you were talking so that I wouldn't hear your echo. Thank you, somebody, for the $2 dono. He said Gabe sucked. When is Lowry done with vacation? I don't think Gabe sucked tonight. I don't know, he didn't shoot well, but that's fine. I think Gabe did his job. He was out there. He didn't make too many mistakes. He got other people involved. Maybe I'm crazy. Let's go to the residential Gabe Vincent expert. Gadiel Cartagena.
I did not think this was a very good Gabe game. I know, there was some of the little things that he did well, but at the same time, taking one too many shots, I think, and obviously just not shooting the ball well, that'll be an issue. But he was good as a playmaker, whatever. Just inefficient as a scorer, and I think, part of the reason why I'm kind of not super pleased with the way that Bam played is because I think Gabe took more shots than Bam.
Gabe took one more shot than Bam.
There was a play that Gabe had where I think he picked up a steal, and LeBron was pretty much stalking him, waiting to block it. He showed really good offensive anticipation because Gabe went for the reverse. Maybe 90% of the league would have gone for, let me try to out-athlete or out-athletic LeBron James, get to that basket before he does, and they get their stuff sent back to wherever it is they came from. Gabe went for the reverse, baited LeBron into a foul, and that ended up sending Gabe to the line. I don't know if he hit them both, but that was one foul against LeBron that the Lakers weren't able to get back.
Yeah,
so
Gabe did.
If anything,
he was 4 for 4 from the line tonight.
Oh, perfect. So that he turned what probably would have been a pretty nasty block into 2 points at the end of the day, because after all, whether it's a dunk, a layup, or free throws, you want the points, and Gabe gave us that.
Yeah, Michelle, she said she don't think Lowry is just on vacation. When you say rest, they can say whatever they want to. We all know what it is. Lowry can be out for whatever reason it is. He is getting rest. So, that's all I really care about. who I think we got both Ricky and Gad to jump in there. Brian, jump in there on Gabe Vincent tonight.
I thought Gabe Vincent played pretty solid. I mean, I think that we have to keep in mind that, there's typically a ceiling on how well Gabe Vincent's going to play. If he's going to give you really good defense, give you pretty solid facilitating, yeah, the scoring was inefficient, but they're going to get that on some nights with Gabe Vincent. I thought he filled the role of point guard or combo guard pretty amicably. I really don't have anything to complain about with Gabe Vincent's game tonight.
Yeah. Ramakan?
Honestly, I thought he played a pretty good game. I mean, we can't just look at the stat sheet and obviously see he didn't shoot the ball well tonight. I felt like he did a lot of other things well. When it came to trapping, he was doing a good job trying to cut off the passing lanes, and he's a really good defender on just as an on-ball defender. And he was able to, I think it was Ricky who said this, went to the reverse instead. And it was a big play because we were reeling at that point. And for our backup point guard to attack LeBron James at the rim and was able to draw a foul in crunch time, that just shows the guts that he has, right? Not to just be a cliche, but it just shows what he's really made of. And I was really excited to see that. That got me standing up.
I fucks with it.
He does the little things really, really well. Like, better than most backup point guards.
Yeah.
He had one of those strips driving tonight. Kind of reminded me of Iguodala. I don't know who it was on. Maybe it was Russ. But, like, the same sort of thing where, for some reason, if you ever bring the ball, like, below, like, close to your knees, he's swiping the ball away. I don't understand how he does it.
Malik Monk.
Garbage.
Easy.
We shut him down.
Easy.
He didn't do anything. Oh, shit. Okay.
I think he's
Here we go with the charts.
So, all right. I guess we're getting to culture minutes time. Okay, everybody. A little unexpected, but here we are. So, my favorite segment, Culture Minutes, a highly advanced analytic on how Heat players perform off of the bench. So, I want to thank the second best player for the Miami Heat tonight, or third best outside of Jimmy Butler and Duncan Robinson, is Trevor Ariza. This man was a two-pack of ass tonight. He was not doing anything. I think every time he touched the ball, it might have been a turnover. I don't think he made a shot. You can correct me if I'm wrong there. He was truly horrible. I feel bad for Lakers fans because he's pretty much supposed to be their best wing defender. Just unbelievably bad performance from him tonight. And it's not anything new. He hasn't been good the entire time. So
he was 0 for
5. Yeah. Oh, he was 0 for 5?
Yes.
There you go. Of course. And shout out Dwayne Dedman.
Oh, no. Gad.
That's all you need to know. All right, so shout out Duncan Robinson. I know this is supposed to be a bench analytic, but my eye test just tells me I have to throw him in there. We slander him. He played unbelievable, okay? So Duncan was fantastic. I think he might be back. And it's not the threes that sells me, it's the loose balls. And he did it at home. 2 straight games. He's been playing really, really hard. So credit to Duncan. And if we're going to give credit to Duncan, we have to give credit to the Long Shot podcast. Which, if you look at the rating on the left, yes, that is 5 stars. I did give him a review after he hit a 3 in the 4th quarter, and he's playing fantastic right now. So credit to the Long Shot Pod. Season 2 just started for them. Go and give them a listen. Insight on Duncan. And then I wanted to give a lot of... Oh, no, Roy, you used the wrong one. Anywho, if you guys know this face on the right, the question mark is supposed to say he kind of looks like Duncan. So I just wanted to give credit to that because Justin Hamilton, I was thinking about that in the 4th quarter. Former Heatle, didn't really do much for us. He was just present. But he kind of looks like Duncan. Like, do you guys see that resemblance?
Duncan
and
Justin Hamilton.
Duncan on heroin.
Honestly, the brothers. I'm not.
I would love to see a conversation or see them in the same place at the same time. But anywho, Justin Hamilton, he looks like Duncan, so that's enough to get a good rating from me tonight. So credit to Justin Hamilton too, I guess. Didn't think we'd be complimenting him, but here we are.
Wonderful, Gaddy Cartagena. Wonderful. I love that segment of this show, by the way. I just want to put that out there.
I'm getting a migraine.
Why are you getting a migraine, bro? I like the Rick Ross grunt, bro.
It was definitely the Rick Ross grunt that got to him. Like, what else are you supposed to say to describe Dwayne Dedman's play style?
You see,
you meow.
You meow?
What kind of a reaction?
The hell, man?
Duncan Robinson's a cat?
No comment.
I'm confused.
Oh, I get it. Somebody just
okay. Yeah, all right. That makes sense.
That was great. I lost my train of thought, bro. I'm sorry. Y'all be fucking me up. Gad, host the show.
I lost my will to live.
Damn. Oh, my God.
I think Tyler Hero's supposed to be back next game. Am I the only one who feels like I've really, in the heat of really missed him over these last few games? Like
No,
down the
no,
stretch,
no.
that's someone that I'd really like to see us
I've
go
missed Royal
towards.
wearing that shirt lately.
No, the fuck you're not. I miss Tyler Hero, to be honest with you. Like, fuck that.
So I guess
Somebody get
Royal's
this
showing us that he
motherfucker
misses
some
Tyler
Theraflu
Hero.
or something. Whatever you need to get over COVID. Get this bitch some Robitussin. Get him back on the floor. This offense is fucking stalling every 5 goddamn seconds because we don't have the white Kobe Bryant out here to save us on a night in and night out basis. I need Tyler Hero.
The
back
white
in the
who?
The white Mamba. You heard me. Get this boy back out there, man. I need that boy back out there, bro. I'm sick of waiting. I don't know what his COVID is, but he got like an aggressive strain. He get his shit together, bro. Why y'all looking so surprised, bro? Don't act like we've never heard this before.
It's not that. It was the singing, bro.
Oh, yeah. I sound just like it, bro. I know.
Phenomenal. We might get DMCA.
The one that hate me the most is just like me. You tell me what that means. I learned that from Gab. What's going on,
From
Ricky?
me? You learned that from Kyle Guy. Come on now. Oh, HM. All right. Perfect timing. HM, thank you very much for the dono. Hope you're having a great night. Happy that he got a win. Salute to the second seed Heat. Could be first seed by the end of the night, I believe. It has been a wild year. Hopefully they stay second so Brooklyn's home court can backfire when Kyrie sits 4 games in the easy. That is a big brain comment if I've ever seen one before.
He'll be injured for the other 3.
It's not about him being injured, but there's like a fine that they can pay in order to have him play. And like I think it's like on the 4th game or something, it's like $5,000.
I don't think the NBA permits players to go against like the local rulings or whatever. Like even if it was a fine, I think that would be like a legal, like a New York fine, but the NBA wouldn't allow that if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and
so there you go.
He won't be healthy for that anyways. This is Kyrie Irving we're talking.
Are you wishing
about.
injury upon another player, Ricky?
No. It's not wishing injury. It's look at Kyrie. I mean, we can do this study on another episode, but Kyrie Irving has missed like maybe 50% of his games. It's ridiculous. Every other season, he doesn't finish the season.
Yeah, well, we got a confirmation from our guy Adam Barai saying Gad is right about Kyrie Irving not being able to play in home games because the NBA doesn't permit them to go against local ordinances, which is even better for us. But yes, that makes HM's comment even that much more astute. I don't think we've gotten to Caleb Martin enough tonight, so I want to make sure that I give him his just due. And Kane, Ricky, we're going to start with you, man. Caleb Martin.
What the hell is even this?
Okay, so that's Caleb Martin, or as our guy Kendall likes to call him, the Latino Will Barton.
All right, if he's Latino, he has to be Puerto Rican. I'm just telling you that much.
We're willing to donate him. We're willing to donate him to any of the Hispanic communities that claim him first. So Caleb Martin, King Ricky, we're gonna start with you. Talk about that man tonight, man.
Sure, no problem. First things first. Do you know how many black people are in Latin America? Don't let Univision fool you. We exist.
Caleb Martin is what we're talking about here, man.
Yeah, sure. Look, like I said earlier, if Miami doesn't extend this guy and secure him for the next few years, they will live to regret it. I know Miami develops these guys like crazy, but this guy's unique. Okay, he's unique. The energy, the athleticism. Look, there are times when he's like an out of control bull in a china shop, which makes sense considering Eric Spoelstra considers him to be Red Bull, but he is pretty solid. He is forcing it to take a Spoism. He is forcing Eric Spoelstra to play him. Just look tonight. Tonight could have ended. Tonight could have ended badly for the Miami Heat. Even after all that comeback, they still could have found a way to tie the score once you watch everything play out and every shot falls. But what happened at the end? Caleb Martin takes advantage of what looks to have been a Russell Westbrook related turnover. Those come often. And he basically iced the game with a layup or a dunk at the other end. This guy, it's going to be very interesting to see how this guy will see his minutes either go up or down as certain players come back, as the playoff roster and the rotation gets finalized. Because man, he's something.
Yeah. So I think some of our counterparts. Oh, thank you somebody for the $2 dono. He said Caleb 15 points per game and 69% shooting over the past 5 games. He's an animal. Nice. So I think some of our cohorts, namely Ethan J. Skolnick and the guys on the 5 on the Floor podcast, have kind of like been doing comparisons since Tyler Hero and Kyle Lowry been out. So they're saying like Gabe Vincent is Kyle Lowry's replacement and they said like Kyle Guy is playing the Tyler Hero role, but I think you would expect it from guys like Max Strus or something like that. But Caleb Martin, damn, y'all missing an amazing NFL game to want to be YouTubers. Shut the fuck up. I hate this man. But no, Caleb Martin has kind of stepped up in that role. Like he was our leader, scored off the bench tonight, and he's kind of been holding down that bench unit with scoring. Brian, let's come to you on this, bro. Caleb Martin's game tonight and how he's been playing over the past 5 games or so.
I thought Caleb Martin played really well tonight, but he's been playing really well all season. I mean, you said Spo calls him Red Bull. I feel like he plays like he injects a mixture of jet fuel and pixie sticks every morning. Like that dude is just on one constantly, but in a controlled way. Like we kind of got a version of that with DJJ, but this is like that to the next level. And I think that for all the things that Caleb Martin does well, the most impressive to me is the shooting. I mean, he's up to 37% this season. Granted, not a ton of volume from 3, only under 3 3-pointers a game or attempted per game. But the fact that you're efficient on those shots, that's really great. Like Caleb Martin's playing himself into some money. It's too early to really have conversations about what he's going to get paid, but I think he's going to get more than the mid-level exception. So I don't know who has cap space this offseason, but listen, DJJ got the full MLE. Caleb Martin is a solidly better player than DJJ is. So it's going to be interesting.
I think the issue is that if he gets the mid-level money, he won't be getting it from Miami. That's going to be tough. Caleb Martin, overall thoughts on him?
He gives you something that this team just does not have, which is like you could say he's an elite NBA athlete. He's just bouncy, quick, explosive. He has all those things that you really need. And then defensively, like watching him and Jimmy play defense together, beautiful. So credit to Caleb, man. Like he's exceeded every single person's expectations of what he could be this year. And none of it feels fluky. It feels like this is actually who he is. Like he's very confident in himself. Watching him warm up the other night, he's really good at that mid-range jumper that he doesn't use as much as he probably should. But I know he's trying to fit, so he's trying to do that 3-and-D thing. But there's like something there for him to create for himself too. He does a lot of things well, and he's going to help us a lot. I'm with Ricky. I think he absolutely is going to play in a playoff game and probably win us a playoff game because that type of energy, he plays 100% energy at all times, 100% effort. You cannot teach that stuff. That's just something that's in here, and you cannot teach it. So credit to Caleb, man. Love watching him play. And he's really good. Hopefully we can keep him long term, as long as you keep one of him or Depot. But I don't know which one would you guys prefer right now. Would you prefer Caleb or Depot?
I haven't seen Oladipo play basketball this year, so I prefer Caleb.
There you go. I agree. I agree.
Yeah, for all you people in here telling me that Caleb Martin is not Latino, y'all can get out of here with your facts, bro. I don't care nothing about that shit. That shit don't mean nothing to me. Caleb Martin, the Latino Will Barton, okay? That is his name on this show. Thank you. That is extremely racist. But I'm black. I can get away with it. What the fuck were we talking about?
We'll talk about it. Caleb Martin.
Oh, yeah. Whose turn was it? It was Jonathan Romicon's turn. I'm sorry. Brian already went on Caleb Martin.
I root for.
I did.
I root for the homie.
Jonathan?
Like you guys are saying, this is like DJJ on crack, right? This is the next level of what DJJ could have become. And this is kind of what we wanted him to become. Somebody who can kind of defend somebody from like 2 to 4, and he's able to knock down the 3 every now and then. But one thing that I think that Caleb Martin brings to this team that not a lot of other players does is that he puts a lot of pressure on the rim coming out from the perimeter, right? Obviously, you'll get a little bit from Bam, you'll get a little bit from PJ, and you'll get a majority of it from Jimmy Butler. But the only other guy, in my opinion, that's able to put like vertical pressure and have a little bit of vertical spacing is Caleb Martin. He's the boy, and I feel like, man, he's making a name for himself out of the 3 guys, Max, Gabe, and Caleb. I think he's the one that sticks out the most as far as the most positive plays and without being a negative at any point. And I, like you guys said, he's definitely going to win us a game in the playoff. I can see him switching out to the first or second option on the opposing team, guarding them for 2.5 quarters and doing a really good job of it. And I can see him definitely winning us a playoff series.
Facts, Adam Barra. Thank you, somebody, for the $2 dono. He said PJ leading the league in 3-point percentage, 45.9. What a pickup. Let's get to the man whose statistics do not do their justice. PJ Tucker.
Okay, Chiefs.
Ricky, nope. We're starting with Jonathan this time because he talked too long.
Rude.
Talked last time. Jonathan, talk about PJ Tucker.
I mean, I think the biggest part about what PJ Tucker did today, there was a part in this game, and it was the beginning of the fourth quarter. We didn't have well, actually, before we get to that, I want to thank the most consistent person on the 5 Reasons post-game show, the unidentified celebrity review for the $5 dono. The bum hath been released. Hey, if you said it, your word goes final more than any one of ours when it comes to Duncan Robinson, because you've been the most consistent person. So, Mr. Celebrity Review, he has been released. Adam, yes, that game is crazy right now for sure. But as when it comes to PJ Tucker, man, the beginning of the fourth quarter, we started off the game without any Bam Adebayo and without any Jimmy Butler. PJ Tucker was the guy that was creating for everybody at the beginning of the fourth quarter. And that shows how important he is and how critical he is to this team. He does a good job from that mid-post area where he's finding guys that are making back cuts. And then he's finding guys. He does a really good job, just like Bam, with the dribble handoff and with opening other guys up. And I think without him, this team does not win, because when you don't have Kyle Lowry there and you don't have Hero there, PJ Tucker is kind of one of the only playmakers that you have available left. That's not Gabe Vincent or Jimmy Butler. So for PJ to be this guy and to do this when we didn't really expect this coming into the season, we expected maybe some good defense and he'll hit some threes. We were talking about if he'd ever score more than 20 points in a game, but he's consistently making clutch shots. He's hit not one, but a lot of daggers this season, and he's doing it throughout the course. Man, I love what PJ Tucker is giving us, and he's continuing to do it every single game. We saw the amount of respect that LeBron James had for him after the game, talking to him, embracing him, and showing that. It just shows how good PJ Tucker is, and he's probably your favorite player's favorite player.
For sure. Him and Bam are both alike in that category where players around the league just genuinely seem to like them. Gadiel Cartagena, let's talk about PJ Tucker a little bit.
What is there not to like about PJ? He does pretty much every single thing that you ask him to do, he's really good at doing. This is not what we saw coming into the season. Like, we talked about PJ countless times on this postgame show, but really wish we were able to have him the other night. I think he would have made a huge difference against Atlanta. Our defensive rotations were very, very sloppy once he came out of the game, and for some reason, Hawks fans hate PJ Tucker. Like, there was "fuck you, PJ Tucker" chants going on at State Farm Arena, so that was interesting. But
there's a reason.
Is there? What did he do to Atlanta? I'm not sure.
He helped send them home last year.
But, like, is that it? Is that all that we do to just scream "fuck you, PJ Tucker"?
I mean, you would know. You were in Magic City over the weekend. What's up, man? You tell us.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. I don't know why they were so mad. It was very angry crowd. That's all I know.
Probably just never won shit in a long time. That's probably why there's.
Probably not.
I would say they've never won shit in a really long time. I thought something was interesting, Brian. When Bam fouled out the game, Spo went to PJ Tucker at the 5. That was a conversation that was happening on like Spaces a few times. I've heard it about who will we turn to in the playoffs as our backup 5. To me, this is kind of like a small indicator of what Spo could be thinking come crunch time of close games. Is it the same for you? Do you think PJ Tucker will slide into that backup 5 role in playoff time, or do you think, because even Devin was good tonight, like, so it's not like either one of those guys are playing themselves off the floor, but where's your line of thinking with that kind of conversation?
No, I love the PJ Tucker at the 5. I think that was probably what Spo envisioned, or the whole front office envisioned when they signed PJ Tucker. I mean, the fact that not only he can space the floor, the fact that he can guard up. I mean, he's played the 5 for a whole season with the Rockets, so it's not necessarily anything new. Despite how good Dedmon was this game, I think that having those lineups, giving guys like Jimmy space to work inside, it works really, really well. So I love it. I love it. I think we're probably going to see a lot of it come playoffs.
Okay, Ricky, PJ Tucker. You probably texting another Tucker right now.
Yeah, I wish. So here's the thing. Like I said earlier, I think, yeah. We'll here's the thing. PJ Tucker is, I think, one of the reasons why a lot of players really like PJ Tucker is that they're jealous of his shoe collection and they're trying to pick up on that. That's one thing. Secondly, look, he is the quintessential championship role player. I said it earlier, and I don't mind saying it again, albeit repackaged. Late in that game, who was out there camped out in the corner? PJ Tucker. That was the guy you needed. And throughout the season, we've seen how elements of PJ's game were opened up under Spo's offense where he was creating more, he was passing in ways that a lot of us never saw before. But PJ Tucker at this point will give you everything he's got. And at the end of the game, I don't think we will ever be in a situation where we'll say, oh man, I can't believe PJ Tucker lost us that game. I just can't see it. That's just not who he is. That's just not how he plays the game.
Yeah, what would the scenario even look like where PJ Tucker would lose us a game? Like, I would love to know what that hypothetical looks like.
Well, maybe if he pulled a Kyle Lowry and refused to shut up late in a game where it was really tight and earned it up.
I think somebody made the comment earlier. Who was it? Was it Jose? He was saying he said PJ is too small. I think that would be a case where like Spo went to PJ, but I don't think that would be on PJ. I think it'll be on Spo if he went to PJ as the 5 against bigger teams. Like I wouldn't pin that on PJ because I understand the logic behind it, but yeah, I haven't seen PJ do anything other than make winning plays all year. So I'm with Gat where the scenario of him making a losing play or losing us a game is just weird. So before we get to the final thing, when we move on to the next team, we want to thank the final sponsor of the 5 Reasons Sports post-game show, and that is City Cigar Lounge. Guys, make sure y'all visit citycigarlounge.com. They have over 350 scotches, bourbons, whiskeys, and tequilas. Oh, yeah. Okay, there we go. They have this dope-ass website that I love when Jonathan Ramlicon pulls it up. They have 50-plus brands of premium cigars. They have large, comfortable leather chairs and classy environment, great food menus. And on top of that, they got happy hour and game specials, and they're going to be hosting some 5 Reasons Sports post-game, some watch parties. They're going to be hosting some 5 Reasons Sports watch parties over there as well. 13 seconds. Shit! Let me hurry up and get y'all ass up out of here.
Wait, there's one more thing I do want to add.
We
always talk about players being glue guys, right? There's a bunch of glue guys in the league. There's only one cement guy, and that's PJ Tucker, the only cement guy in the league, holding everything down. This man is the best glue guy. He will hold everything together better than anyone else in the league. He is the perfect person to place next to any player. He's going to be the captain of the defense, being screaming, dragging you around, telling you where to be. Offensively, he's going to do whatever he has to do, make that little short floater. Nobody's better at that short floater than him. Nobody's better at that corner 3 than him, as proven as the best 3-point shooter in the world. Give it up for our cement guy, PJ Tucker.
Absolutely, brother Ravlicon. Absolutely. PJ Tucker. Glue is not strong enough to describe what this man does. I don't know what Gadiel Cartagena went, but you better hurry up and get his ass back because I'm about to watch the Buffalo Bills go to the AFC Championship to the disgust of many people in the Miami area. The next game that we have. Oh, wait, we got a $5 dono. Thank you, somebody, for the $5 dono. He said the Spo get Coach of the Year, missing Jimmy and Bam half of the year, and the Heat atop the East. No other team can lose their 2 max best players and hold up. I think that is a conversation. You're not going to get any type of divisive answer on this panel. I'll ask it just for the sake of the dono, so I appreciate it. But I think everybody here is 100% behind the idea of Spo getting this Coach of the Year award. Ricky, really quickly, before we move on to the next game, Spo, Coach of the Year, question mark?
He deserves it. Will he get it? No. The narrative is rarely in his favor, as we've talked about multiple times. I'm surprised people even ask this question. Look, at this point, if he can't get Coach of the Year after coaching a team to 27 straight wins and taking crap to 47 wins in 2010, I don't know. He's earned it.
For sure. King Brian, you're muted. You're muted. And he going ham right now too.
I think he knows that too.
That boy is going nuts right now. Brian, you're muted.
I know.
What's that, bro? You went in too, bro. We saw.
I was saying he deserves it. He 100% deserves it. But the media are haters. The fans are haters. They don't want to push our guy like we know that he should be. Best coach in the league. We know who the real Coach of the Year is.
For sure. Rob Lakai?
Yes, he absolutely should be Coach of the Year. I think the only person that would be a threat to that is the Grizzlies coach, just because they're overperforming. And we know that they like to give the overperforming coach the award, who ends up typically getting fired the next couple of years anyways.
I mean, typically we don't hear about Miami much in the media, so we could be considered overperforming based off of the standards of the national media. Also considering that Miami is actually going to be a topic of conversation tomorrow, by the way, but they're just going to talk about how the Lakers came up a little bit short. And if you prepare yourselves now, when you watch these segments about this game, be prepared to be very disappointed about what you hear from these folks. So let's get to the next victim on our slaughterhouse list. Kane Ricky. We got them New York Knicks coming into town.
Yes, we do.
The boy feeling good?
Yeah, Miami's going to win that game. New York's been playing pretty well. RJ Barrett's been fantastic in the last 10 games. Julius Randle has been up and down. Well, he has been. He's put up better numbers than Tyler Hero.
He's fucking trash. Thank you. Brian, the boy feeling good?
The boy feeling great. They're going to win that game. Fuck the Knicks. We know. Yeah. You know how it's going to end. 20-point win. We're good.
Exactly.
I was about to say that.
Kane Ricky. Oh, I'm about to say Kane Ricky. The boy feeling good. We'll start over there. Just don't say that shit that you said before. Something get real glitchy around here when people start giving praise to the Knicks. I don't know what be happening. It's not us, Kane. We would never do that to you.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Right. As a Heat fan, I'm feeling pretty good about this game. Despite the fact that RJ Barrett's been really
this motherfucker. He don't learn. He just won't learn later. He's a very educated individual. I don't understand how somebody like that educated can't learn. Like it just blows my mind. Ricky, the boy feeling good?
I answered your question already, Sue.
Oh, my bad.
I already said it twice.
My bad. I apologize. Somebody said the comedic timing of StreamYard. Listen, bro, y'all ever heard of George Carlin? He must be the person. Jonathan Robinson, the boy feeling good. I'm trying to stall so Gag can get time to get his ass back to work. Jonathan Robinson, the boy feeling good.
The boy feeling great. We're playing the fucking Knicks. Like we're playing one of the most poverty franchises. Like it's the Kings, the Knicks, and who else?
Yeah. Right? I'm sorry, that was DreamYard. That wasn't me.
Yeah, no idea. But Knicks, Kings, Denver.
Ooh, field goal position.
Poverty franchise. Wow, that's pretty nuts, Ricky. But man, we're gonna blow that shit out. You already know how it is. Royal, go ahead and put an exclamation point on it for the boy.
You already know, Jonathan Robinson. The Heat about to blow that shit out. Fuck is you talking about? RJ Barrett is a poverty basketball player. Julius Randle is their best basketball player, and he's worse than a poverty basketball player. They're coached by Tom Thibodeau. Sucks.
Thibodeau's pretty good.
Never won anything in his goddamn life. And we have
won in 2008.
We have the Jimothy Tyrone Luis Butler on our roster. Better than anybody in the Knicks franchise's history. Okay?
Oh, that's false. Stop it.
Shut your ass up. We are winning the fucking title, and the Knicks are but a pebble. They're not even a stepping stone. Hey, Gabriel Cartagena. The boy feeling good about the game versus the Knicks?
We play the Knicks? Bing bong. We're winning that fucking game. There's no question, okay? RJ Barrett's going to have -2 points. Julius Randle's going to request a trade. I don't know, man. Fuck the Knicks. I don't care about them. Hopefully they lose. Is Derrick Rose healthy?
Is he ever? Thank you guys in the comments as always for joining us, making the show much more fun.
Overtime.
I've never watched the Knicks a day in my life, and I knew that off the cuff. So we want to thank my guy Jonathan Robinson, Brian Young. Want to thank Kane, Ricky J. Mark, even though he out here talking foolishness. And we want to thank my boy Gabriel Cartagena for joining me tonight. We'll see you guys. Bing the fuck bong. Play the video, Jonathan.
Jimmy Buckets. Clutch time.
Tyler Hero, what a finisher he's becoming.
Lane, Oladipo. Oh, that's right. You better mean mug after you dunk on somebody that